Okay, hello everyone and welcome. Tonight I'm going to share with you three yoga poses that you can do to relieve tight shoulders. Now, before we get started in going through the three yoga poses, I've often got tight shoulders. So we sit around a lot. We often have a lot of anxiety and tension. So kind of right up here in the trap area is often where it gets really tight for me personally. So you might feel some of that tension in there. Now, before I start to stretch my shoulders, whether it's in a class or whether I'm just doing a couple of quick stretches, I always put this lotion on, and it's called the Deep Blue Rub. Now, this is a rub that has been made with a blend of essential oils, and I'll go through them with you right now. So wintergreen, camphor, peppermint, blue tansy, German chamomile, helichrysum, ylang ylang, and osmanthus. So quite a few, so about 8 different essential oils, and it provides a calming and soothing feel to the muscles and joints or whatever area you put it on. So you don't need a lot. You need a teeny little, like dime size, really. You don't need a lot. I usually rub it around my hands and then massage into the area. So I use this rub every morning and night on my elbows, my knees, my shoulders, my neck, my back. I basically just, if I could just bathe in this stuff, I would, because it's amazing. So give the shoulders a little bit of a rub. Now, let's say you don't have this rub, okay? Let's say you have some peppermint. Rub some peppermint on the area. It's going to cool it and soothe it. Another oil you might use that's in this is ylang ylang, or even a wintergreen, right? So something that's going to kind of warm up the area. If you don't have any of that, before you stretch, you can do a little bit of a basic warm up, maybe some movements with the arms, or maybe just heat yourself up, like after a shower or something, okay? So once you've done a little bit of warming up, whether it's just simply moving the shoulders or doing a rub just as I did, maybe getting out of the shower, you're gonna go through some stretches. Okay, so let's get into the 3 stretches. Now, the first stretch we'll go through is called cow face pose. Now, basically, this is a couple of different movements. So you'll take one arm up and over and back behind the head. So what we're trying to do here is we're really focusing on reaching in between the shoulder blades. And then the other hand is going to go behind the back. Now, your goal is to reach for the fingers, but if you can't, that's okay. You might even grab a towel or a strap to put in between and hang on there. So the one hand can be behind the back. Notice that hand will be internally rotated, okay? So with that internal rotation, you're going to give a nice stretch to the external rotator cuffs. Those are really deep inside the muscles, and also the posterior shoulder and into the lateral deltoid as well. Now, because this arm over here, as you bring it up, is in an external rotation, okay? So this one's in an internal, this one's in an external rotation as you come up. You're gonna get into the external rotator cuffs, but also you'll notice because the arm is up, you're gonna get into the triceps as well as the side body. Now, this is a wonderful stretch for the shoulders, a couple of different ways. Sometimes we put our legs in a particular position and lean into it, but I like to just focus on the shoulders here. So you can hold this stretch for a few minutes, up to about 3 minutes if you can. From there, you'll switch sides. So reach that arm all the way up, the other arm behind your back, and relax once you've had an opportunity to stretch. The next stretch is called twisted puppy pose. This pose is also called melting heart, okay? So first I'll show you melting heart. So melting heart or puppy pose is just as it sounds. Think about if you've got a dog or a cat and they go to stretch. What do? They take a paw forward and they take another paw forward and they leave their little butts up in the air, right? I love it when my little baby does this. And then from here, you press the chest, or they press their chest down to the ground. Now, you can do the same here. This will get into a nice chest and shoulder stretch. Couple of ways you can set your chin down, or if that's a little bit too much on the shoulders, you might want to, on the arms, bend into the elbows, push the chest towards the legs, and drop the forehead to the ground. Now, you'll feel this stretch all along the side of the back and into the shoulders as well. So this is melting harder puppy pose. From here, twisted puppy pose is going to hit the rear deltoid. So you keep your hips up high, taking one hand underneath and setting the shoulder and the head down. This gets into the rear deltoid. Now you can leave the other arm straight out in front or simply drop the elbow. This is a beautiful stretch for the posterior or back side of the shoulder. Gets right in behind there and through the shoulder blade as well. From here, pushing into that shoulder, holding up to about 3 minutes or even just a few seconds, and release. Now, when you come out of there, use the top hand to come up. You want to keep this arm so that it's not flexing right away. If you have held that pose for about 3 minutes, you're going to find it's quite weak because the body or the muscles are in a lengthened position. Now to switch to the other side, just simply you can reset if you need to, or just simply go to the other side. So the other arm comes in, you set the head and the shoulder down, and you relax into the stretch. So that one I absolutely love, one of my favorites. Now the next stretch we're going to do is another yin yoga posture. We are going to come down onto the stomach, and from here, take your arm directly out. So I'm going to move over a little bit so you can see me, but take your arm directly out from the shoulder. Okay, so let's say let's start with the right arm. So right arm is going to go straight out from the shoulder. And from here, set your head down, start to push your opposite knee in towards the chest. This is going to give you a little bit of an anchor. And the other hand can go right on the floor. So this is going to help you open into the chest and the front of the shoulders. So you'll hold here for a moment. Now, if you want to go deeper in the stretch, you can take your other hand back behind your back, or you can flip your leg up and behind. Okay, then from there, you straighten out that leg and simply go to the other side. So set up in that same position, arm out by your side, tucking the knee in, and hold the stretch. So there's 3 poses that really help to release tight shoulders. Now, I did go through that fairly fast. Now, in a yin yoga practice, which I'm going to be doing here in a few minutes, we would hold each of those poses for about 3 minutes per side. So we're looking at least 15 to 18 minutes of poses just in those 3 positions, okay? So really important to take your time, warm up before, and relax into the pose. So I hope you enjoyed this evening's information. If you did, please make a comment below or share. Have a great evening, and we'll see you all again soon.